Welcome back to the Unshuffled Deck, everyone. I'm your host for today, Mathew, and I'm here with my two co-hosts.
Hello, I am James.
Hello, I'm Felipe.
Now, I would have ended introductions right there, but today we have a very special guest who is also a longtime friend of ours. Come introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Nathan.
What a great introduction, Nathan. Now then, time to pull a card from the Unshuffled Deck today that shall decide the topic. Let's see. Oh, huh. Okay. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about conspiracy theories. Does anyone want to say a few things they have in mind?
I'll start off first, I guess. But there's like two theories I could think of right now. There's just one that like took place in Afghanistan in 2002. It's called the Kandahar Giant. I don't know if y'all heard of it, but
Hmm.
it was like four like soldiermen. It's like they're unidentified. Like you can't like figure out who they are online. Like it was like covered, whatever. And like they had like went to a cave for like a mission, I think, and then there was like bones scattered all around, and like human bones, I think too. And once they got closer, there was like a 16 feet, 12 feet giant that came running at them.
Uh-huh.
It was like a big old large man wearing any like he had clothes, but like barely any clothes, like covering himself, obviously
Yeah.
not naked or whatever, but um. And then he had charged at them with like a big spear. He had something written on it. I forgot though.
Hmm.
And but they are charging them, and it took the soldiers 30 seconds to kill the giant with like shooting at their head, shooting at the guy's head, and then freaking ever since that event, like you cannot find anything about it like on the like it's basically covered up. Like it practically never happened, and it's like a rumor, like a legend in Afghanistan, whatever.
Hmm.
What the heck?
Wow.
That's interesting. Actually, I'm not
That's
gonna lie.
interesting.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Do you
Yeah.
know? Do you know when this happened? I guess
2002.
2002. Okay, that's wild. Yeah, I've
Damn,
never
that's
heard
a
of
long
that
time.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been
Uh,
in Afghanistan.
Where'd you find that out?
I saw it on TikTok and some articles.
nice,
That's
nice.
sick.
I
Hmm.
get you. No, that's actually wild. I mean, do you guys believe in giants? Honestly, because I don't. I really don't.
I
I
think
don't think.
I do because there has to be a reason why they made the Stonehenge, right? That's like also one of the biggest conspiracy theories, like
True.
how they created the
That is true.
Stonehenge,
Yeah,
how
that's
they
true.
were able to create such a building using only what they had back in the day, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. What about you, Matthew?
You
Do you
know what?
believe in giants?
Nathan has a point, though.
Yeah.
You know what? I was gonna say that it couldn't they couldn't possibly exist because of how. Let's see. I'm gonna bring up like gravity into this, but
Uh-huh.
maybe they did exist. It's a 50-50. I have high hopes.
Yeah, no, no, I get you. I mean, no, no, but yeah, Nathan does have a good point because I mean, there are just a bunch of structures out there in the world that just, not a lot of people know, like, or we don't understand how they were made. With their, I don't want to say technology because
Our
even technology,
capabilities.
their capabilities back then, with what they had.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, a good example is like the pyramids, but I mean, then again, a lot of people like have proof that it was actually
Slaves,
made with
bro.
their
Slaves.
capabilities. Yeah, exactly. But no, that's wild though. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I don't believe giants were unreal. I don't know. I've never entertained the idea of like, oh yeah, giants probably
Mhm.
lived among us. No, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I really don't. I mean, I feel like if there were giants, we probably would have already seen one, and like it would have been like I don't mean like only a few soldiers like James was talking about would see them. I mean like a whole like city would see a giant because I mean they're giants.
Yeah.
Where are they
In
hiding?
the
Someone
in the
have to like
article. Oh.
oh sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. You could go first. You could go first.
Uh, that is true because if there were giants, there would have to be like records of them, like in like hieroglyphs or in
Exactly.
paper,
Mm-hmm.
and like they would have to contribute to society at some point.
True. True.
So
True.
there would be no way for like them to not be like so isolated from the rest
Mm-hmm.
of the world.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that's really hard to believe,
What
but it's
about
also
you?
very hard to
What about you, James?
believe.
Oh well, in the article it had said that if you like go in Afghanistan, you ask people around, they'll actually talk about it, like how it's like a legend over there, whatever.
Mm-hmm. I got you. I mean, I'm not trying to disprove the legend because there
Oh
are
no.
legends everywhere. But I feel like no, I feel like if there was a giant, like we would have seen them. Like a
Yeah.
lot of people would have seen them.
You have
Yeah.
a point. You have a
Mm-hmm.
point.
And I mean, the only theory that comes to mind when I think about like when I think like where are giants going, uh, is like the hollow Earth theory. A lot of believe there are giants inside the Earth, because they think the Earth is hollow. And I mean, I guess, but I don't know. It just begs the question: if giants are real, where are they hiding? Where are they like getting all their like all their food and all that? It's like I find it impossible because like I feel like you would feel when a giant is around you too. Like if they
Yeah.
step somewhere, you're gonna feel the rumble of the ground.
Yeah.
So why is it not like like common knowledge that like that giants are real? Well, I don't think that's common knowledge because I don't think they're real at all.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, James, do you have any other conspiracy theories that you had in mind?
Oh
Or
well. I have one more. I have one more. Y'all know about the Mandela effect, right?
Of course, of course.
yeah,
Well, do y'all know the origins about it?
Uh,
Like
I
how it
semi.
like became a thing?
kind of go ahead and explain it,
So
dude.
basically, Nelson Mandela, he's a man. He was I think he was the first president of Africa. He's either I think South. I don't know.
Hmm.
I remember. But people had like seen because he had served time in jail,
Yeah.
and there was this one time that people thought he died in jail, but years later he had actually died, and well, let me check. Let me check. He had died in December December 5th, 2013, but people
Hmm.
thought he died years earlier.
Yes.
So that's how it actually started because people had died. People had thought something else different, but it never happened. It never like occurred.
No. Yeah.
So that's how the Mandela effect and like y'all like know about the Monopoly Man, right? How he never had a monocle, all that
Hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, and people even say that the Mandela effect like is like really strong. That is that we got sucked into a different universe,
Hmm.
and that we got sucked into a different universe, and it's the same thing, but there's like tiny differences and all that stuff.
Yeah. I also don't believe that conspiracy theory. I feel like a lot of things are like yeah, like again, I feel like there's just some things that like a lot of people just don't notice, and now they're noticing, and like now that people are like, oh my god, this never was like this. A lot of people are starting to like, oh my god, this wasn't like this, and it's just like a whole thing of like, we just don't notice things, like
Yeah.
like one that comes to mind for me is like the Looney Tunes one, where like
Oh yeah, that one too.
everyone thought Looney Tunes was spelled as like Looney and then Tunes as
Like
TOONS, like in
yeah, two
cartoons,
O's.
but it's tunes like in music, TUNES.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shocked too. I'm like, no, no way, it's like tunes for music. But then again, I'm like, I never focused on the on how they spell tunes. I just knew Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get what you mean, though.
yeah.
Uh, let's see here. I think it's. I believe like the whole thing about. Well, I'm not how you say it, a believer of this, Mandela effect thing,
Yeah.
but I think it's just lack of awareness that people are barely noticing. Like what you said, Felipe.
Yeah,
Oh man.
for sure. Do you guys have any like some Mandela effects that you guys like are shocked that like things are in the way they are? Like any personal ones, honestly.
Mm,
Mm. Definitely the Pikachu one with the Pikachu
Yeah,
tail. I thought.
that is true.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, that one. That one too.
yeah. And I
Well,
grew up thinking that the tail was black. Like I vividly remember being a kid and getting a coloring book that and I remember painting or sorry coloring the tip of his tail black. And I don't know where that coloring book is now, but I swear I remember doing that as a kid.
It is black. I thought it was yellow. I thought it was entirely yellow. I think.
Yeah, it's all yellow. It's not black.
Wait, I'm actually searching deep into it right now, and
Oh my.
apparently it's both.
It's not
There's.
both. It's not both. It's
It
it's
was
all
at.
yellow with I think a little bit of brown.
Oh. Yeah, it was brown. It was brown at the base,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then it's yellow.
wow, how interesting. It was never black.
It was never
Wow.
black.
Wow.
I know. I thought it was black, but no, it's always been yellow.
Oh, I think the reason why is because Pichu's tail was black. So
I
that's
mean,
the misconception.
maybe, but then
That could be the case.
I grew up with the first generation of Pokemon, and I mean at the time I didn't know nothing about the other generations, so Pichu is in Generation 1. So I don't think I would have known about, Pichu at that time yet.
Mm, I get you.
What about you, Matthew? Do you have any that's shocked you?
None actually. But
Really?
anyways, due to
The
time, we're gonna have to move this along,
All
sadly.
right, for sure, for sure, for sure.
So, does anyone else have anything in mind?
I have one in mind.
God,
So
Go right ahead.
go right ahead.
it's not really conspiracy theory,
Mhm.
but I think it's really fascinating how the multiverse theory works. Because,
Mhm.
or not the multiverse theory, but how the time travel theory works.
Mhm.
I learned about this in anime. So the story goes, if you send a letter to someone, if you send a letter to your past to not do something, and that person or the person that you were in the past gets it,
Mhm.
and they don't do it, technically, the future would erase because that means you didn't have a letter to send to your future. So
Oh
it's like
yeah,
a paradox,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So
Yeah,
that's where the multiverse theory comes in.
yeah.
Where they say, in order for time travel to happen, you must time travel to different universes because if you time travel to your own line, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything.
Exactly.
See, that's how it was in Endgame.
Yeah,
They thought they time traveled in their own verse, but it was another verse.
yeah.
Really? That's how it works? I thought it was
Yeah.
like their own timeline. I
No,
didn't
cause
know like.
no, cause remember when they encountered the younger Nebula, they killed
Ah.
her, but the future Nebula didn't die.
Yeah.
So that was a different one.
Fair.
I think
It's
that's
really
interesting.
fascinating. It's very fascinating, and I think it's really beautiful because it like it reinforces a mindset in people for people to like not think about. I wish time travel was real so I could go back and fix it. I
Mhm.
think it's really pretty that you can't change what you did, and like what you do now is going to affect your future.
Hmm.
And the anime that I was referring to, it's called Orange. So what they did was they accepted the fact, or they wanted to go back in time to save their friend who committed suicide,
Yeah.
but they had to settle with the fact that their universe is not going to get them back.
True. True. True.
So
True.
what they did is they sent letters into the Bermuda Triangle to say that they love them and that they care for them and they should stay safe. And they
Yeah.
were like, someone in another universe or some group of us in another universe will have these letters and they will save their friend.
Yeah.
And they did. And that was really beautiful. I was like, they didn't think about themselves. They thought about their friend only. And I think that's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
That's when I think about it, I'm just thinking, what if the multiverse theory was real? Like, what if the things that I do, like, what if I fly over the Bermuda Triangle, sends letter to my past, and there's gonna be a universe out there where like I look completely different, or like I'm living a different life,
Yeah.
and I think that's really cool to think about. Like, do any of you guys ever like have something in the past that you want to like change, but
Of course.
like,
Of course.
Of course. I mean, everyone wants to, but no, no, trust me. I believe in multiverse theory. I do believe that everything we do is like a, like how can I explain? Everything we do, one choice we do, there's a alternate like timeline or something like that does the alternate option, and that branches
Yeah.
off into different things. I believe in that.
but off of that, it's crazy how there's gonna be so many multiverses off of that like
Exactly.
division. It's like
Mm-hmm.
not only will there be two universes off of every yes or no decision, there's going to be alternate universes for like you do it 1 second later, you do it 1 minute later, you do it 1 minute earlier.
Exactly.
And just the fact that everything could change and so many multiverses could sprout from just that, it's crazy.
Exactly.
But there's another time travel theory that I learned about. I learned it from this really good anime called Steins Gate,
Oh
where
Lord.
they say that even if there's like little decisions like that, little like changes like that,
Mhm.
it'll there's like still major events and timelines that will always lead to that moment.
Yeah.
And it's like different wires, but they're part of the same rope.
Uh-huh.
And they say in order to time travel to a different rope, you have to make really huge decisions. And I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
that's really nice to think about because like it puts my mind at ease instead of thinking about so many like the amount of timelines that sprout from just a single decision.
For sure.
That's
And just
cool.
like just to put that into like perspective, it's a really beautiful theory, and I think a lot of people should think about that. You know.
No, yeah, no. I get that. I get that. I mean, yeah, it's interesting. I've always liked, like time travel theories and like that. I always find them interesting.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Let's see. Um, the only person that well, Felipe, do you got something else to say though? I mean,
I
you got any
do.
conspiracy
I
theories you
do.
have?
Yes. I'll rush this so then you can tell your theory. 'Cause I know you have one, and I know if you wanted to say it.
Oh, please take your
All
time.
right.
It's no worries, bro.
Before I start, everything I'm about to say is satire and is a joke. Nothing I say is 100% serious or proof that certain things happen. Any names that I am about to say are coincidental. Okay.
You're good,
On
bro.
April 4th, 6:01 p.m., Martin Luther King was shot and hit in the right cheek by a bullet. He had a pulse and went to the hospital. He died at 7:05 p.m. The shot came from a bathroom window from across the building. The police found a bed sheet in that building, I guess, that had clothes and a personal bag. They also found a rifle in it. Um, this belonged to a man named James Earl Ray. I'm gonna call him Ray for the rest of this. Cool. Okay. So once Ray shot MLK, uh, people claim they saw Ray, uh, run out of the hotel with the bed sheet that has his clothes and his gun. Uh, he ran out. He saw a cop car. He panicked and dropped the sheet in front of a local store. And then he ran back and got inside his white Mustang. Okay, cool. Just keep that in mind for now. The cops say that Ray did this because there was a bounty on MLK, and they also claim that Ray was a very racist man. Ray claims that his attorney told him in prison that he has to plead guilty, or he's going to get the death penalty. Also, if he doesn't plead guilty, someone would kill him. Ray also believes that he assisted in the death of MLK and that he is a victim in all this. Ray also had a talk with MLK's son, and MLK's son asked Ray if he killed his father. Ray proceeded to say no, he did not. And from that point, MLK's family does not believe that Ray killed MLK. They stayed with this claim so much that they fought for a retrial for Ray, um, and they eventually got into court. They won the case, but that's about it. Okay, cool. And now with all the things that don't make sense about this whole story, cool. number one, number one. Ray stayed in that hotel overnight. He stayed there a full night. Um, but here's the thing: they didn't find his fingerprints on anything in that room. The only reason they caught him was because they found fingerprints on the gun. I'm not gonna get into it yet, but I guess all I want to tell you guys is that Ray isn't the smartest man. So a lot of people think that he would
Mhm.
have messed up, eventually touched something. Plus, he stayed there overnight. He probably touched something. And there's proof to show that like he stayed in that room, and he was there overnight. Cool. Um, One more thing. The person who owned the store that saw Ray drop the bed sheets on the floor, he claims that he saw Ray, or not even Ray. He just saw a man walk peacefully, calmly, in front of his store, drop the bed sheets calmly, walked away calmly, And then only after he walked away a couple minutes later, he heard a gunshot, and that gunshot was MLK's, death. Um, that doesn't make sense, as you guys can piece the information together. If these bed sheets had the gun in it, how did MLK get shot if he saw the bed sheets on the floor? Also, a lot of people don't. A bunch of people claim not to have seen a white Mustang around the area, so that's a little bit a little bit weird. Another thing is that the main witness really shouldn't be trusted. His name was Charles Stephen. Charles Stephen was known to always be drunk. He was arrested 155 times for
Damn.
causing scenes, for being drunk in public, right? And then he only claimed to see. I'm sorry. He only claimed to have seen Ray leave the hotel after the cops had a bounty on Ray, and as well, the cops already had enough evidence to prove Ray, like did it. I guess did it. I guess. And also, there was a interview with a CBS journalist that Charles, was in. The journalist showed Charles a picture of Ray, and Charles did not know who that was. He literally did not know. And then they asked him, "Is this the man who ran out the building?" He said that was not the same man. He was not the shooter. Apparently, that's what he said. Another thing is that Ray's family claims he had a black girlfriend. This can go either way because people are racist. Because the whole agenda, not even agenda, the whole thing that was like the how do I say this correctly? Um, the public news showed Ray as a very racist man. They showed him as him just hating black people, and I don't think they mentioned other races, but whatever. Um, But that's the whole proof they had on him. But his family claims he had a black girlfriend. I don't find that as like a lot of I guess evidence, but I'm gonna just throw that out there. Another thing is that Ray didn't know anything about guns. He didn't. A couple days before shooting MLK, um, he went to a gun store, bought the wrong gun with the wrong bullets, and the people around that gun store claimed to say that like they could tell he did not know nothing about bullets. He didn't know what scopes to get, what type of bullets. He's terrible at it. Another thing is that he was in the military, but he also had a desk job. And in reports, uh, it said that he never even fired a gun in the military. So keep that in mind. He has no experience with guns. Um, and then the people who were around MLK when he got shot claimed they saw a man hiding in the bushes. Well, not even bushes. It was on a tree. Uh, they were claiming to see a man on a tree, and after the shot was heard, they saw the same man run behind the building, and I mean, no one ever really saw his face. They just say he was a white man. Um, and a lot of people think the FBI killed MLK. One last piece of evidence that is really really weird. This can either be something that's not like great as evidence, but it's just weird. Um, so a detective was hired to protect MLK, and for the time being, because I believe I think he was shot in Memphis. I might be wrong, uh, but this detective was there to protect him. Uh, so the same day MLK got shot, a couple minutes or maybe I guess an hour. I don't know. Uh, a couple minutes before MLK got shot, the man got a phone call, and the phone call told him like, "Hey, someone is planning on killing you." And so for safety, he was sent back home. And after he got home, a couple minutes later, MLK was shot. And then after that, the FBI
Damn.
came forward and told him, "We apologize. That was a call from the FBI, and it was a mistake." Really weird. Another thing, I guess I should. I'm wow. I forgot to mention this. Like most, this the smoking gun out of all this. The bullet that hit MLK does not match the same rifle that Ray had. They do.
Mhm.
There's no way that gun shot out that bullet. So all this is again proof that MLK was assassinated, not by Ray though. Ray died in prison, I think, so he never got freedom. But
Damn.
yeah, that's all the proof I've got so far. I wrote this down on a piece of paper, so yeah,
So people think it was the FBI?
yeah. A lot of people think it was the FBI because they didn't like him promoting, all the good stuff he was doing.
Oh,
That's a crazy conspiracy.
Yeah.
So like, imagine if it wasn't Ray and bro got framed and or, like got like life in prison for nothing, even though he did nothing.
Well, that's
that's
what
pretty
people
scary.
think. Yeah. What were you saying, Nathan?
Damn.
That's pretty scary, knowing that like the FBI, who's supposed to be like your special intelligence, is using this
Yeah.
to promote racial injustice.
For sure, for sure, for sure. And it's crazy because there's a lot of things that just doesn't make sense. A lot of things that are just untrustworthy. Like for example, with the main witness Charles. Charles was never a good witness at all, and he was appointed as the main witness. And then it also I forgot to mention the people who were with MLK never got interviewed by the police. They didn't
Oh,
even they didn't even ask any of them.
Damn.
And then another weird thing is that after I think the same day or the next night, um, where the people with MLK were claiming to see a man on a tree, uh, the same the police got there maybe a couple hours later and cut down the trees for no reason. They just had
They're
orders to cut
hiding,
down the
hiding
tree.
something, bro.
But yeah, it's really weird. There's a lot of inconsistencies. But no, that is terrifying. But no, it's crazy because not even MLK's family believes that Ray killed him. A lot of people don't think
Mhm.
that, you know, that Ray killed him. I don't think Ray killed him. I feel like they assassinated him. Okay, but that's just my opinion.
mm.
Oh, that's a great conspiracy theory that you said there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Now then,
Well, go ahead, Matthew. You got the floor. Tell us about yours.
all right, then I'll try to make this quick since we're trying to keep it low on time.
Mhm.
But for my conspiracy, it was gonna be the moon landing and how it was faked by the government, quote unquote.
Mhm.
On July on July 20th, 1969, one of the greatest achievements in American history was the moon landing, when we beat the competition in the space race to reach the moon. Although after its landing, many people have made conspiracy theories saying that it was completely faked by the government and that we never made contact with the moon at all, and it was all filmed in a studio. I believe that there is evidence to confirm that the moon landing did occur. If you were to film if you were to film this in a studio, there is so many things that you have to account for, such as the correct lighting for it, the funding, and of course asking the employees of NASA to keep it under the wraps. It would be almost impossible to have all this happen. And there is also evidence to show that astronauts uh, were on the moon due to them laying out a reflective material called retroreflectors. So when an observatory aims a high-powered laser at them, it reflects right back. So it shows that astronauts were there in the first place. So
Mhm.
the moon landing couldn't be fake.
Yeah.
But all in all, how I say this? Since we're nearing the end of the video, I guess I should conclude this by saying, yeah, I don't think you should believe in conspiracy theories.
Mhm.
No offense to anyone who sees them or not. But I think that you should take them with a grain of salt. You shouldn't believe them all in all.
True. True.
I
True.
good. I say it's kind of fun to watch conspiracy theories because it's cool. How you say it? Because people have how you say it very are very imaginative. You could say.
Sure.
So I think it's okay to watch conspiracy theories, but believing them, it's a whole different topic.
Yeah. Yeah. I get you. No, I get you. Yeah. I I don't I like conspiracy theories, but I also don't think that we should all believe them like entirely. I said do your evidence. Sorry, do your research, not evidence. Do your research see what's going on. Like a good example I can think of is that one lady on that one plane. Y'all know the video.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure y'all all know the video. You know, she's like, "Oh, that guy's not real," but whatever. Um, Videos like that, people will say things. Research it, please. Research your conspiracies. Find out if they're true, and if it's clearly not true, don't promote them. You know, it's like it's so dumb. Don't do it. Like I'm not trying to hear people be like, "Oh, the sun is fake. It's not real." Like remember, or I don't want to hear people like climate change isn't real. It's not real. Like yes, it is. Whatever. But yeah, just do your research. And and if you hear a conspiracy theory, just always have a grain of salt. Think about it, see if it sounds right. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I same thing what Matthew said. I agree with him. Don't believe every conspiracy theory. Do your research. That's it.
Wow, that's great, Felipe. Now that's a great way, and I think this is time to end off the video for everyone.
Sure.
I appreciate everyone here, and I appreciate our special guest Naethan for being here. Anyways, that ends the video for now. Come back and watch us again, please. We appreciate any support. Follow us, follow the Unshuffled Deck, subscribe to us, please. Any type of support will help us at all.
Yeah.
Thank you, and goodbye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.